Hello friends, I am back with another video, but I'm not going to release this one until tomorrow, Tuesday. I was kind of thinking on what to post for content this week, and I got to thinking about a project that I've had in my mind to do for some time. I just needed to get the supplies to do so. And as you see here, I have some neon paints. These are just your basic Artist Love from Michaels. It's a 12-pack of neon colored paints. And there's the list of the colors. And I'm also trying something new with my camera and my tripod here, so let's pray this works. And then I have some black canvases here that are just, again, Artist Loft in 8x8. And a lot of people get turned off with black canvas because they don't know what to do with it. I also have these, which are Craft Smart painter pens. I've used these before, and these work really, really well for many different projects. So there are what it's ideal for. It says wood, plastic, metal, and glass. But I'm going to be using it on a printed canvas that I have. So that's just showing you the colors that are in this pack. Tells you how to use them. They're very, very easy to use. I've used these many times in the past to make Christmas ornaments. And then I also have just a basic, oh come on, focus, 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 thank you. Just an Artist Loft Fundamentals white colored pencil. I have some stencils here that I purchased on Amazon. They're actually not stencils. These are chipboard pieces that are Mod Podgeable. They're actually by Mod Podge. But I'm not using them for that purpose. I'm going to use them as tracing stencils. So I am actually only going to use the flower and maybe the butterfly. So what I'm going to do here is, we don't need both canvases. So, and I'm sorry, I need to work on my lighting. I'm in the living room and I'm seeing there's a shadow from my light above me. Hold on one second. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to do what I normally don't do, is edit my video because, well, after I adjusted my light, I thought I was recording, I was talking, I was tracing, but I wasn't recording. It's definitely Monday, friends, definitely Monday. So anyways, I readjusted my light. I had it, instead of my light shining directly at me, I pushed it, I anchored it so it's facing down towards my bookshelf, so there's not as much of a shadow. There still is a shadow, but just not as bad. I'm going to have to play with the lights some more later just to kind of figure out what I want to do. But so I started out just tracing one flower using the white colored pencil, as you see. And I'm not gonna show you how I paint these. I'm just going to kind of paint them off camera just because it would turn into a very lengthy video. There's no right or wrong way to paint these. Like I said, I'm going to be painting them using these neon colors here that I purchased at Michaels. And I think this set here was, I don't know, it was less than $10. It was really inexpensive. So anyways, all I'm doing on this is I'm tracing flowers. I will overlap, and when I overlap, I'll show you how I do this so that you know. Now if you see, I'm going to stop right here. I'm stopping right here where the other flower is. I'm not going to go up and over the flower. I'm going to come over to this side and start where the other flower stopped. And then I'm just going to keep tracing. And please bear with me, I have never done this angle for my camera or tripod before. This is not a tutorial. This is just my way of doing a canvas that I want to do for me, for my area, for my office area. I just don't see spending all that money on something in the store when I know I can make it at home and make it the way I want it. So there you go. There's 2 flowers there. And then I'm thinking, this is kind of going along with Monday's video. I talked to you about my mom. I really, really miss my mom a lot, and she loves butterflies, so I'm thinking this painting's actually going to be for her. I'm going to send it to her, and then I'll do another one like it to put in my office area, since I have two canvases here. Right now I am tracing a butterfly up here. And this will be the only butterfly I do on here. And then again, like I said, these little chipboard pieces I purchased on Amazon. They are by Mod Podge. If you've ever used that adhesive for any kind of art project, you are familiar with it. These are, according to Amazon's description, they are Mod Podgeable, so you can Mod Podge on them, but I bought them specifically for stenciling purposes, and so there's a butterfly there. I don't know, I think I might put, it's all about getting your angles and everything right. I think I might put another one down here. Yeah, let's try that. So I actually get a lot of enjoyment out of painting, tracing like this. It's very relaxing, just like crochet is, but lately I've been struggling with crochet. Some days I can get along just fine, other days I'm very anxious with it, so I know I need to step back when that feeling arises. And that's why I'm starting on these paintings. But as a kid, I used to love working with newsprint. I never could figure out why, because newsprint is just so thin. So far, there we go. 2 butterflies, 2 flowers. And then I'm going to kind of just take this flower here. Alright, so anyways, going back to childhood, yeah, my mom used to buy me coloring books, and I would specifically go through these coloring books, because, I mean, I love coloring books, I still do as an adult, but I would go through the books specifically at the store, okay, see, and then stop at the other object, whatever it is, and then, so anyways, back to the whole coloring book thing. Sorry, I was just trying to let you know what I was doing here so you knew. So see how that one, how I did that one there? I am loving my idea here. I'm sorry, I needed it to focus. I moved too fast for it to focus for me. So yeah, we would go to the store. My mom would buy me a coloring book or whatever. And one thing I would always do is go through it, make sure there was not just coloring pages, but I loved where, you know, those pages where you can finish, like, you can finish the picture, like it gives you half the page is the picture, the other half is blank. So you have to continue that picture in your own way. And I know there's still in books today like that, because I actually have some. And then another thing that I absolutely loved was tracing colors. And it wasn't after every single picture. There was only maybe a quarter of the book was tracing sheets and the rest was coloring. But I used to love tracing, and I would even go as far as taking like onion skin paper. Yes, it's a thing. I think it still exists in craft stores. It's not not something you can just go buy in the store anymore, I don't think. I haven't really looked for it. But it was called onion skin paper. It was really, really thin. It was thinner than, it was almost see-through. And I would use that, and I would trace pictures out of my coloring book, or I would even go as far as using like printer paper, and I would trace with that. And I don't know, I've always had this thing about tracing objects and then either coloring them or painting or something, because even though you're tracing an object, you're still using your creativity, because, you know, some people might just say, okay, well, we're going to put one here, and okay, we're going to put one here, and we're going to put one here, and oh, we're done. And not really put any thought into how you're doing the picture, right? Whereas to with this, as you notice, I haven't really traced anymore, because I'm kind of deciding how I want to do, not just up in this corner here, but down here. Trying to figure out, and see, it's okay to kind of play around with the placement. So this, I don't want to have to trace in tiny little spaces on this one. So we're going to just keep moving this until I don't see any more white up here. So like that. And then what I'm going to do is just trace part of the flower, not the whole thing. And this is great, a great project craft to do with little ones. It helps with their hand-eye coordination. It helps with, I mean, you can turn it into a big lesson. Shape recognition. Again, creativity. So same. Yeah, that one didn't kind of go as planned. Okay, well, that's okay. Sometimes that happens. So we'll just place it back over. Yes, baby, I hear the trash truck. Sorry, it's trash truck time. They're coming through our gate, and we can see it from where we live. So I'm trying to see how I want to fix that. I'm trying to figure out this area here, if maybe I just kind of, and this is going to all be painted over. But anyways, back to the whole doing this with the little kids. I started showing my grandson, who's 5, how to trace shapes and stuff like that. Sorry about that, little one running through. This is just it's a very good, fun project. It's inexpensive, especially when you buy the little shapes or you buy stencils. Go ahead and run through, shut the door. You know, you're really not investing a whole lot much other than like canvases. And like right now, Michael's just got done having a huge canvas, excuse me, a huge sale on canvases, and that's the time to purchase them. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so anyways, back to that. So summer's here. Well, officially it will be here in 2 more days, but I would highly recommend, you know, especially if you live in an area where the summer storms are wild and crazy and you can't get outside to play or anything like that. I would check into your local craft store. Not everybody has the Michaels or Hobby Lobby or Joann. Yes, you can order online, but I find it so much more fun to go in store and pick out those colors and the canvas, and especially different colors canvas. We've seen just in the last couple of weeks when my daughter and I have been shopping for canvas, because she's She paints portraits, like actual portraits of like people's pets and stuff. She's an amazing painter. We have found so many different types of canvas out there, not just like the black ones here, but we found recycled canvas, we found cotton canvas. I mean, you just name it, we have found it. It's pretty amazing, honestly. And the size of canvases nowadays, it's just, wow, there are so many different sizes, from itty itty bitty to so big I don't even think I could get it in my car to get it home. Yes, we actually contemplated one of those size canvases, and then we were trying to figure out how we would get it home. And mind you, I drive an SUV. I drive a pretty good size SUV, and yeah, I don't think it would have fit in my Honda. So anyways, with that said, okay, I was just kind of thinking here. I think I'm going to do this one this way. So there's that. But yeah, going back to childhood, we used to have, you know, we would shop at Meijer, which is like a Walmart, and we would shop at Kmart. Kmart was a big one, and then Walmart came into play when I got older, and then we had a Target after I got older. I was about 14, no, I was about 16, I think, when our Target came in. But then we also had local craft stores, like the mom and pop craft stores that I miss. We had one called Robbie's Hobbies, I think it was called. It was like I said, it was a mom and pop type store. And then we had another one that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was called Cumcraft. And that one was smaller. Oops. Well, it would help if I was paying attention to what I was doing, and I wasn't. Reminiscing about childhood, and I just completely got sidetracked there, guys. Wow. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, there we go. But anyways, I would go into these stores anytime I had extra money or whatever, because money was, growing up, things were kind of tight. Okay, I like that. You know, growing up, things were kind of difficult. My biological dad wasn't in the picture. We lived with my grandparents. So anytime I had extra money, like allowance or, you know, money from doing my weekly chores, which you're going to laugh at this. I literally earned 25 cents a week when I started getting allowance. I thought that was the greatest amount of money. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I can't even go buy a piece of candy at the store. Or, well, actually I could, because that was when we had the liquor stores that had, actually they were called party stores. They're called party stores back there. Here in California, they're called liquor stores, and many other places. But anyways, the party stores had the penny and nickel and dime candies. So, you know, I could do that. But I wanted to go do what my friends were doing and go out on the weekends and maybe go to the mall or whatever. So then I finally got my allowance up to $5 a week. And you think about it these days, and it's like, wow, $5 to do the amount of chores I had to do every week was insane. But that $5, I would take it. Oh, and we also had this place called Chuba's. It was CZUBA apostrophe S. Chuba's. And they sold really cool arts and crafts stuff too. So I would take my $5 and I would plan strategically. Did I want drawing stuff? Did I want a trace? Did I want a coloring book? Did I want... I used to do all kinds of stuff with seed beads and wire. Just talking about this, I really want to get back into all that, but I've got to be mindful of my space too. But yeah, so I would really strategically plan how I wanted to use that $5 that week, because that would be all the money I would have. Like I said, sometimes if my mom had extra money from, we got state assistance, because like I said, my biological dad was not in the picture because of some choices that he made, resulting in him being in prison my entire life, my entire childhood, and into my young adult life. But anyways, so I really had to plan. And like I am today, I would always think about other people first. Like, well, if I made this, who could I give this to? Or like, you know, just stuff like that. So anyways, that's why I said this one here, I'm making this one. I'm going to make it for my mom. I'm going to just kind of fill it up as best as I can and paint it, and then I'm going to send it off to her. And I don't know if I'm going to fill in these areas here, like right here. I don't know if I'm going to fill this in because I'm thinking I want to give this a background color of some sort. Maybe paint it like one of these yellows here. One of these two yellows here for the background. Yeah, because I'm looking at the list of colors. Here's the list of colors again, if you missed that earlier. I might just want to leave some of it open. I might actually spread out throughout each of these shapes a Bible verse for her. I know she would thoroughly enjoy that. I want to... So what I'm doing with this one right here is, if you see, kind of match the petal into there. Like that. And then we'll go this way. So yeah, growing up, I used to, and that's the thing, is I struggled as a kid. I've had a learning disability. That's all they ever said it was. Nowadays it would probably be classified as like ADHD or something like that. But in school they said that I had a learning disability, which made perfect sense because even to this day, memorizing stuff is hard for me. It takes a lot of work. I stumble on my words a lot, but it just means I have to put extra effort and focus and time into what I'm currently doing. So I was always told I was never good at anything. I was basically known as the stupid kid in school, and I was known as a welfare recipient, and they would make fun of me because a lot of my clothes came from Kmart. And let me tell you, I loved Kmart clothes. I miss Kmart. My kids and I were just talking about this the other day, how we would just go and walk around Kmart and sometimes not even buy anything. It was just the whole atmosphere of it. And the Kmart that I grew up at, I'll tell you kind of a gross story here, but the Kmart that I grew up with, the one that was on the east side of the river, we had one on the west side of the river too where I grew up, but the one that was on the east side of the river had a cafe in it. And we would always go to the cafe, my mom and my stepdad and I, before we would start our shopping for the day. My stepdad ordered a fried chicken dinner. And he went to go take a bite of the chicken, and thankfully he didn't eat it because the chicken was dripping bloody raw. It maybe had been dipped in the grease and then pulled out, just enough to fry that outer skin. And we had a feeling that that was actually a setup because the lady who was working at the cafe was his landlord, and his landlord, she had it out for everybody in the city. She was just the biggest, meanest person. I mean, she must have had something going on in her own personal life to make her hate society. So if memories serve me correctly, I think he went and got a refund on it, and we ended up not eating that day at the cafe because we just felt it wasn't safe, and we just went and did our shopping. But that's one thing I do miss about, you know, the Kmart is the cafes. The cafes were just so much fun, even if it was just you were getting an icy or something like that. But yeah, going back to school, it was hard, you know, because I felt like even though even doing something like this, just tracing, I would have kids look at it and say, oh, that's so ugly. Oh, you can't do anything right. You're just so stupid. And it really tore me down even into my adulthood. I'm coming up on 47 years old this year, and I still struggle with confidence that what I'm doing is okay. I still second guess myself. I still question, am I making the right decisions? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? So I'm going to be honest, it goes on so much these days in our public school system. Unfortunately, I saw it with my own eyes with not just my kids when they tried the public school out for a year or two. I've seen it with my friends' kids, my friends' grandkids. It's tough. And like I said, just, my childhood was a blessing. I look at it nowadays. I look back on it, and before I would say, I had absolutely nothing growing up. But you know what? I did. I had a house full of love. I had grandparents who loved me so much that they helped my mom raise me. Because if you remember in my last video, I talked a little bit about my mom being born 3 months premature. She had the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck, resulting in what they call a blue baby. And she had a 20% chance to live. And then if she did live, it would not be without lifetime repercussions. And so we lived with my grandparents. They helped raise me. They helped put me through school. But honestly, because my self-esteem was so low and I was constantly knocked down, I was a rebel. I ran with the wrong crowds. I got into trouble. I did the whole party scene way too early in my life. And I look back on it and, now I'm thankful I was able to pull out of it because a lot of people don't. But it's a life lesson that I feel I had to learn, and it took me until I was about, I'm not going to lie, I was probably 35 before I finally just realized, it's just not worth it. I was already a mom, and, every day I wake up and I realize what a blessing life is, as hard as it is right now with everything that we are going through as a family. I realize it's a blessing, and I realize that what I went through as a child growing up where I did, not having very many friends, was just kind of toughening me up for what was to come later in life. I have one friend, this is going to probably make me cry. Her and I were worst enemies at the beginning of 4th grade. Like, we hated each other. And by the end of 4th grade, we were inseparable. We lived just down the block from each other in our hometown in Michigan. We were constantly having sleepovers and get-togethers during the summer, and I'll never forget the one winter Christmas. It was Christmas Day, and kid you not, it was about 80 degrees, so we were all outside just enjoying the weather, and kids were riding bikes that they had gotten for Christmas, and it was, so there was that, and there was a concert at the riverfront that I really wanted to go to. It was Jan and Dean. If you've never heard of Jan and Dean, look them up. They're a pretty fun band. Kind of reminds me of the Beach Boys. It's along that same genre of music. So I really wanted to go to that concert, but I wanted her to go with me. And she did not want to go. I dragged her. I said, I'll pay for your ticket. It was like $7 to go to the concert. And so I have pictures of her and I hanging out at this concert with my mom and my stepdad. I think my stepdad was there. So I did that. And then we had our ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. We had our ups and downs. We had our fallouts, but we always came back stronger in our friendship. And not only is she my best friend, but she is my sister, not by blood, but through an official adoption. I'll just say I adopted her into my family. I've adopted her family as my own. She has just, her and I live many states away. We live a couple thousand miles away from each other, but every time we talk or we video chat, it's just like picking up right where we left off. I saw her when I was home last year, and I just wanted more time to spend with her, but I know, everybody has their lives now. We're all busy, and we were only in Michigan for a couple of days, and but I was blessed to be able to have that little bit of time to spend with her. But she is the one who I told you in a previous video, I think, about grief when my dad died. Where she told me, she said, sorry, this makes me cry. She said, just worry about getting here and we'll take care of everything else. And that's just one of many times she has helped me out. She has just been there for me. She's been there for my kids, for my family. And those kinds of friendships are hard to come by. I have a friend here who is one of my only people I talk to here where I live. God connected us when we were both going through a trying time in our lives, and we are very, very good friends. She's a very good sister in Christ to me, and anytime I need a prayer or just to talk, she's there. But yeah, so I know I've talked your guys' ear off. By the time I splice these two videos together, it's going to be about a 40-minute video. But anyways, friends, I think I am going to get off of here and do what I don't like to do, which is edit videos, because sometimes it just takes forever. But I wanted to just jump on here and share with you all an idea that I had for a painting. I think I'm done tracing for now. Hello, camera, focus. There we go. So that's where I'm at, and now I just need to go through and paint this, and maybe, like I said, I might put a Bible verse on here, or I might just do, the I love you, Mom, or something like that. I haven't fully decided, but this is probably going to take me a couple of days to get to paint, because, again, like I said, it's just the whole second guessing myself and third guessing and fourth guessing, if that's even possible. But I think for now, I'm going to get off of here, friends. I actually like the way this setup is. Maybe I'll do some more videos like this. I've got some scrapbook piecing together stuff that I want to do. I think I'd mentioned in Monday's video that I wanted to show some scrapbook stuff, but anyways, I think I'm going to get off of here and go find some other stuff I can get done around the apartment before everybody starts coming home for the day from work. Find out what my grandson's doing. Oh, actually, he's just he's playing with his maps. He loves his maps, loves to navigate. Takes us all over the place. But anyways, friends, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, listening to my stories, as I get more comfortable being on camera, because again, it's just stuff from childhood is popping up, and this is one way for me to overcome it. It's just to get on here and talk to you all and share my life with you. So again, thank you for hanging out with me, and remember to be kind, which, let me show you real quick what I found at Joann over the weekend. Look at this. Kind is cool. I love this bag. I did not need another bag, but you know what? That bag needed to come home with me on Friday. So it came home with me. Anyways, be kind, friends. Be blessed. I love you all, and I'm hoping to come back, and I'm going to see if I can do it. Maybe make 3 or 4 videos this week. So Anyways, I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye!